Hello, friends, and welcome back to TJKidz Super Fun Stories, where imagination becomes reality. I've got a fun little story for you today, and it was actually inspired by something that happened on my vacation last week. So, we visited the Capybara Cafe in St. Augustine, Florida. Yeah, a real one. And let me tell you, capybaras are even cuter in person. They're like giant potatoes with legs and have the cutest little faces you've ever seen. We got to feed them, hang out with them, and learn all kinds of cool facts. And here's something you might not know. If you rub a capybara's leg, their hair puffs straight up. I'm serious. It's like they turn into fuzzy little balloons. They love it. And of course, the moment I saw that, I thought, well, that's going to be in a story. See, even when I go on vacation, I'm not leaving you guys. I'm out there gathering inspiration for new adventures. Anyway, today's story is all about a young capybara named Latte who thinks he wants to live wild and free until he discovers what wild really means. So grab a comfy spot, get cozy, and join me for this adventure. Latte the Capybara. Latte was the smallest capybara in the entire nature sanctuary, and he was absolutely certain of one thing. He did not belong there. Every morning, the sun rose over the preserve, warming the air and setting the perfect scene where the capybaras lounged like royalty. Latte's friends, Gizmo and Carrie, loved it. Latte's mom loved it. Every capybara loved it, except for Latte. Morning, Latte! Gizmo called as he munched on a pile of fresh vegetables the workers had just delivered. You ready for cafe day? No, Latte snapped back, and I never will be. Carrie giggled. You say that every week. Because I mean it every week, Latte replied. I don't want humans touching me, especially not my legs. Why would anyone want that? It's weird. Because it's amazing? Gizmo said. They stroke your fur, they scratch behind your ears, they even rub your legs. They treat us like royalty. We're like the capybara kings and queens of the cafe. Latte shook his head. No thanks. I don't need humans to treat me like a king. I want to be free, totally free. Running through the rainforest, swimming in wild rivers, eating whatever I want. We basically do all of that here, Carrie added, minus the wild part. Latte's mom overheard the conversation and walked over. Latte, sweetheart, the rainforest is dangerous. You were born here. You've never seen what's out there. That's exactly why I want to go, Latte interrupted. I'm not meant for captivity. Captivity? Gizmo replied. Latte, we were rescued. Humans saved us from being sold as pets. They brought us here so we could live safely. More like slaves, Latte muttered under his breath. Slaves? Carrie gasped. Seriously, Latte? We get fed every day. We get medical care. We get to sit on warm laps and get gentle rubs. What could be better? Latte rolled his eyes. I can get my own food, and I don't want anyone's hands on me. Just then, the sanctuary worker approached, his voice cheerful and enthusiastic. All right, little buddies, today's cafe group is Latte, Gizmo, Carrie, and oh, Mom, you too. Yes! Cafe Day! Gizmo cheered. Perfect. Another day of screaming impatient kids, Latte groaned. How wonderful! Yay! The cafe was a cozy wooden building filled with soft music, warm lights, and excited families waiting to meet the capybaras. The worker set the group down gently and addressed the visitors. Okay, remember everyone, quiet voices, gentle hands, and let the capybaras come to you. Latte wished the humans would actually listen. At first, things were calm. A few kids sat cross-legged, holding lettuce with their tongs, ready and eager for their turn. Latte stayed close to the wall, watching. Then the calm turned to chaos. A boy popped to his feet and scanned the room. Where's Latte? I want Latte! Latte froze like a statue, hoping no one would notice him. Then the boy spotted him in the corner. There you are! He shouted, sprinting across the room with a giant leaf of lettuce. Eat this! Eat this! Eat it! Latte darted behind a bench. Another kid reached out to pet him, but it was more like a slap on the back. Another tried to grab his leg. Another shouted, Come here, Capybara! Latte ran and squeezed himself into the farthest corner of the room. The worker stepped in quickly. Okay, that's enough. Latte is a little shy. He needs his space. Let's give him a break. The first boy screamed, But I want Latte! His mom quickly scooped him up and carried him out of the cafe. Latte whispered to his friends, See? Savages. Not all humans are like that, Carrie responded. Even you know that, Latte. Yeah, most of them are gentle, Gizmo added. You just had a bad luck day. Latte didn't respond. He was already hatching up a plan of escape. For weeks, Latte had been watching the trucks that came and went from the sanctuary. Food trucks, supply trucks, transport trucks. He knew the schedules. He knew the patterns. And one night, he saw his chance. A truck was parked near the back gate, its doors open while workers loaded crates. Latte slipped through the grass, quiet as a cappy ninja. He climbed up the ramp, squeezed behind a stack of boxes, and held his breath. The doors shut. Latte's plan had worked. Freedom, here I come, Latte whispered. Hours later, the truck stopped. The doors opened, and workers began unloading crates. Latte waited patiently until no one was looking, then hopped out and scurried into the trees. He sniffed the warm air as he took in his new surroundings. New wild sounds, thick vines, freedom. This is it, Latte whispered. I made it, the real rainforest. He found a river and jumped right in, splashing wildly. Ah, now this is living. He floated on his back, staring at the sky. Life doesn't get any better than this. Then he heard thundering footsteps. 3 wild capybaras sprinted past him. Hey guys, Latte called. The water's great. Come on in. Are you crazy? One shouted back. Run! Latte hesitated. Run? From what? A jaguar burst from the bushes, eyes locked on him. Ah! Latte shrieked as he dove underwater. He swam fast, faster than he ever had. But when he surfaced, he saw dark shapes circling. Caiman. Lots of them. "Oh no," Latte gasped. "What do I do?" He paddled desperately toward the shore, scrambling onto the mud, just as the caiman snapped at his tail. He ran through the trees until his little legs finally gave out. He collapsed under a giant tree, panting. "I wanted room to run," he said, "but not from predators." Then he heard an eerie voice from above. "Don't take it personally. You just look so delicious." Latte looked up. An enormous anaconda slid down from a branch, its tongue flicking. Latte screamed and bolted with every ounce of energy he had left in him. He didn't stop running until he crashed into something solid. Another capybara, huge and powerful, with old scars in his fur and a calm, steady presence. The capybara looked him over. "Whoa, easy, kid. You new here?" "Yes," Latte said, trembling. "I've been here about 10 minutes. Everything wants to eat me." "I figured," the capybara said. "You're running around like a maniac. You're not gonna last the night acting like that." Who are you?" Latte asked. "Name's Randy," he said. "Come on, I'll show you how to not get eaten." Randy led Latte through the rainforest, pointing out hiding spots, safe paths, and danger zones. "That tree over there? Don't sleep under it. Snakes love it. See that river bend? A caiman nest. Stay far away. And that clearing? Jaguars hunt there." Latte listened carefully. Randy continued. "The wild is not what you think. Out here, every sound matters. Every shadow matters. Every mistake matters." Latte looked around at the dark forest. "I thought the wild would feel like freedom." "We are free," Randy replied, "but freedom comes at a heavy cost out here. One wrong move, and your freedom ends quick." Latte hesitated. "Randy, do you ever wish you lived in a sanctuary?" Randy chuckled. "Kid, I was born out here. This is all I know. But you don't have a wild bone in your body. You're not built for this life. Not yet." "I think I want to go home," Latte whimpered. "Smart choice," Randy said with a nod. "Then let's get you home." Randy guided Latte through the forest until they reached a dirt road. A truck was parked nearby, workers loading supplies. "That's your ride," Randy said. Latte looked up at him. "Thank you for everything." Randy grinned. "Anytime, kid." Latte climbed into the truck and hid behind a crate. As the doors closed, he whispered, "I can't wait to see Mom again." When the truck returned to the sanctuary, Latte slipped out and hurried toward the pond. Gizmo spotted him first. "Latte, you're alive?" Carrie ran over. "Where were you? We thought something terrible happened." Then his mom spotted him and rushed over. "Oh, my baby, where have you been?" Latte lowered his head. "I'm sorry, Mom. I thought I wanted freedom,
but I didn't know what freedom really meant.
Just then, the sanctuary worker walked by and spotted Latte. Latte! There you are! Everyone's been asking about you. And guess what? You're going to the cafe today. Latte looked up at his friends.
Oh, great.
Gizmo gave him a nudge. Come on, give it another chance. This time, Latte walked into the cafe with an open mind. Maybe it wasn't as bad as he had thought. He noticed the calm kids first, the ones sitting quietly, holding lettuce patiently with their tongs. One little girl sat cross-legged, smiling. She didn't reach for him. She didn't call his name. She just waited. Latte approached slowly.
Hi, Latte,
She whispered.
it's okay. You're safe.
He cautiously settled into her lap. She stroked his fur. Then she gently rubbed his leg. Latte's hair stood straight up. He puffed up like an adorable little pom-pom.
Whoa,
He whispered.
that feels incredible.
Gizmo looked over from across the room. Told you. Pretty nice, right? Latte settled deeper into the girl's lap.
Okay, he thought. Maybe life in captivity isn't so bad after all.
The end. And that is the end of our story, friends. Wow, what an adventure Latte had. He started out convinced that life in the wild would be perfect. No humans, no rules, just freedom. But once he finally got out there, he discovered that the rainforest wasn't the peaceful paradise he imagined. Jaguars, caiman, snakes, and a whole lot of running for his life. Then he met Randy, learned what real survival looks like, and realized that the sanctuary, the place he thought was holding him back, was actually keeping him safe, loved, and cared for. And when he finally gave the cafe another chance, he found out that humans can be gentle, kind, and even pretty great at giving leg rubs. And that leads me to a moral I learned from today's story. Sometimes the freedom we think we want isn't the freedom we need. And sometimes the safest, happiest place is the one filled with the people who care about us, even if it doesn't look exactly like the adventure we imagined. Well, that's it for today, friends. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one. Toodles!